Hi there, my name's Michael Lane, and I'm a business growth expert working with individuals and teams. If you're a HR manager responsible for people within a business, the chances are you've been running into all kinds of headaches that seem to reoccur time and time again. Perhaps you run a team and you're responsible for that team's performance or ultimately their results. If you don't want them to become the death of you, then you need to listen in. When it comes to creating high-performance teams, the most important discipline is to have a cohesive leadership team right at the very top. And for that to happen, what we have to do is overcome the 5 most common dysfunctions that contribute to poor team performance. The first dysfunction of the team is the lack of trust. Now, without trust within a team, it's impossible to create effective teamwork. Trust is the very foundation of teamwork, and where people can share their knowledge, their experience, their strengths and weaknesses, and even their opinions without judgment or fear of reprisal. How many times have you been in a team meeting or been in a situation with a group of people where you don't feel comfortable sharing what's actually on your mind? Or you think that if you actually say what you think, that you'll be judged for it? How many times have you done that, and how does that feel? See, trust is the ability for people to be open and honest. They're honest with each other and they allow themselves to be vulnerable. And more importantly, without trust, we can't overcome the second dysfunction of a team, which is the fear of conflict. Now, the word conflict sounds confrontational, doesn't it? But actually, healthy conflict is not only good in a team, but it's essential. And it can only happen if you've got trust in place. Conflict is a way of speaking our truth and hearing and agreeing or challenging others as the group deliberates in a healthy way in search of the best solution. Conflict is so important because if we don't have conflict, we will experience the next dysfunction in the team. And also, when we talk about conflict, we are just talking about conflicting opinions or conflicting views. And with trust within a team, you can share your view or your opinion, and you can examine why they conflict and why it is that you think something slightly different to somebody else. Now, with trust, you can be open and honest, and you can have that deliberation. That's healthy conflict. And as I say, without it, you will experience the next dysfunction of the team, which is commitment. Now, we'll be unable to get commitment from individual team members. I mean, think about it. If I can't speak my truth among my peers, then any decisions that are made going forward, I'm unlikely to feel committed to those decisions because I'm not going to feel part of them. I might just be nodding and agreeing, but if I can't speak my truth, I'm just going to get through it. If a team doesn't share in open and honest conflict and deliberation, they will also show no commitment to the decisions that the team makes. Commitment is only present when everybody in the team buys into the decisions that have been made. This commitment is vital, and without it being present, there will be the inability for team members to hold each other accountable, which is the fourth dysfunction of a team. Accountability is so important in any team. If we want to get things done, this will only happen when people in the team are committed and are happy to be held to account for the decisions that have been made and the actions that are required. So if you think about this, if you make a decision as a team to do something, so you put your hand up, you all agree, you decide to do something, for that to happen, you have to be willing to be held to account. So you have to be able or feel able to hold somebody to account, and you have to be willing to be held to account. Now, without commitment, there'll be no accountability because we'll not be willing to be held to account. Now, if team members are happy to be held to account, they will feel able to hold others to account, and they will start to foster the kind of behavior that creates a win-win within a team. The importance of accountability is so much so that without it, the team will experience the next dysfunction of the team, which is the inability to focus on results. Results and performance improvements come from a team that is all rowing in the right direction and it's focused on the actions required to get the desired result. This is what we call a green team, when everybody is pulling in the right direction. In a red team, what we have is people pulling in some in the right direction, some in different directions, and some can even be rowing in the opposite direction. Now that is a dysfunctional team, and that team will never be able to compete with a green team that's rowing in the right direction. What can happen here is that individuals are more focused on their own individual performance rather than the team performance, and consequently their own results. This is why we'll have a differentiator between a red and a green team. A green team focuses on the collective results. A red team will have individuals that will focus on individual results. Ultimately, if we're going to get the right collective results for this team, we have to trust each other in order for us to engage in healthy conflict without fear of reprisal, so that we can come up with decisions and actions that we can all commit to and be happy to be held to account and be accountable for. We're also saying that what we're putting our hands up to do, that we will do and that we will commit to. Not only that, we now know that we have the environment where we can be held to account and hold others to account. And we are willing to give permission for others to hold us to account. Only when we've created this kind of scenario can we then start to accelerate the performance within a team. And consequently, the results will follow. This is when we make the transition from a red team to a green team. Remember, the only way to compete with a green team is to become one. If you want to know more about how you can turn your team from a red team to a green team, then book a discovery call on the link below now.